Hey guys, back in the basement again for another Hinks Collectibles. Guys, I've got to talk about another action figure slash Funko Pop figure slash uh album of the week that I was inspired by. With that being said, let me go to the lovely footage that I have for you guys to let you know what inspired me to do this one. That being said, let's get to it. Here we go. What we got? What we gonna put on the screen? Oh shucks. Oh, G.I. Joe. Yeah, guys, you see this classic G.I. Joe lunchbox along with one of my favorite villains on G.I. Joe, Destro. And Director Destro. You got to have Director Destro, right? It's only fair to have regular Destro and Disco Destro. But not only that, my album of the week was that classic album right there, Hall Oates. Now, guys, let me give you a little bit of backstory around the Destro. I like Destro because he had that mystery to him. Um, he wasn't the leader of the bad guys, but he was right there. But he always had in the back of his mind that someday he wanted to become the leader. He was inspired to be the leader. Never was able to get there, but he had the inspirations. But he did have his lovely woman, Tiberius, right? I've yet to see a lot of cartoons villains with women. You know what I'm saying? They're ladies. They actually claiming the lady. They actually showing affection to the lady. Well, that's what Destro did behind this goddamn metal man. How did that happen? I don't know. And she wouldn't get no touch or skin to skin. She touching metal. This man got a band on his face because it was inherited down from family members that was cursed a long time ago, and they all had to wear the mask. So he was struck in by this curse of his family. So he had forever the line of men had to wear the mask. That's supposed to be the backstory now. I remember seeing it on I hearing about it on the movie, and they also talk about it in the cartoons. I mean, not the cartoons, but the comic books as well. I used to love G.I. Joe comic. Not a big comic book guy anymore. I don't read comics no more like that. But when I was reading G.I. Joe was my go-to. But that classic album that you've seen up there, that that classic album of Daryl Hall and John Oates. I hated when I heard the stories that they separated and they was no longer able to work out later on in their lives. That's crazy, but it is what it is. But that's how some of these groups come. But man, doing that era of the soft rock / yacht rock, those was one of the groups. Those was one of the groups right there, man, that you would definitely want to have in your collection. So I was a big Hall & Oates fan. I remember when I first got turned on to Hall & Oates, it was watching on MTV. Man Eater was the first time that I've seen Hall & Oates. But I've heard Hall & Oates songs before. And that was Sarah Smile. I didn't realize that was Hall & Oates. I didn't realize that was white. I was taken back. They had that soulful voice. Her Hall had that soulful voice. And if it wasn't for somebody to say, well, that's the same guy the same group that sang that song you like, that Sarah Smile. I said, no. I said, no. Oh, that is white boy. What are you talking about? That was some brothers singing that song. Boy, I could tell by his voice. Man, when they had that video come up, man, I said, oh, shit. Boy, that hurt my soul. It is what it is. But it's all good. And let me tell you, that didn't stop me from listening to him. Because you see, I bought the album. I was a fan. So I had to make sure one of my favorite villain had to be matched up with Hall Oates, one of my favorite yacht rocks. Now, my favorite is probably Michael McDonald is my favorite, but coming in a close, let me say 1B. Huh? Can I do that? Is that okay, guys? 1A and 1B. 1A is Michael McDonald. 1B is Hall Oates. Shout out to the Doobie Brothers. But with that being said, I just wanted to share with you guys to kind of give you the backstory. Make sure you continue to look out for content like this that I'm going to be putting on the Hicks Collectible page. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these videos. I'm going to keep uploading and keep having them fun with them. With that being said, I'll catch you beautiful people on the next one. Right on.